was purportedly ratified, and the same year that the IRS came into existence. What a coincidence. You know, I've always been so amazed that all of the famous people were born on holidays. What are the chances of that? So, now, let's talk a little bit about economy. All you need to know about economy is the law of supply and demand. If there's a lot of it, the price is going to be really cheap. How much are you going to spend for cow patties? Probably not a whole lot. If I want some, I'll just go out back to the back 40 and pick some up. Gold, how much is that worth? Well, a lot, because there isn't very much around. Now, the same thing is true about peaches. If I'm a peach farmer and I got 1,000,000 peaches, and I sell my 1,000,000 peaches this year, let's say I sell them at 25 cents a piece. Next year, I try to grow peaches and I've got rain and frost and all sorts of weather problems, and I only have 500,000 peaches. How much are peaches going to be at the market? About 50 cents. The price is going to go up. So you've got good years and bad years. You know, this is called market flow. And if people decide they don't want peaches anymore, then the price is going to go down. This is a normal, healthy economy. It's a free market economy. The people set the price based on what they're willing to pay. Now we got the Federal Reserve that comes in and says, hey, this bad years, good years, bad years, good years, that's got to stop. We want to have just like a smooth, steady, flow. So we're going to set up the Federal Reserve so that we eliminate inflation and deflation. Oh, really? Okay. So what happened in 1929? The stock market crash. I thought the Federal Reserve was supposed to fix that. I thought it was supposed to prevent that. Ugh. Okay. So let's talk about money. When we talk about money, frequently we refer to it as the blood of the economy. Excellent, excellent metaphor, because it circulates. If I buy something for $1 and he buys something, he buys something, he buys something, and then they buy it for me, that $1 bill has gone around through all of us, and basically it's just an exchange, just a placeholder. What happens if you have too much blood and your blood pressure goes up? Is that good for you? No. What happens if you accidentally slice your wrist and you start to lose blood? Is that good for you? No. There's a certain range. Too much is not good, not enough is not good. There's a certain limit in the middle where you need to have, in order to have a healthy body. Same thing is true of money. Too much or too little, and your economy is going to be in trouble. I'm going to oversimplify this, just so that, like nobody can miss it. Let us pretend for the next 10 minutes that the only thing to buy or sell in the United States are bales of hay. Everything else you just kind of grow yourself. The only thing we're going to buy or sell are bales of hay. There are exactly 1,000,000 bales of hay. There are also exactly 1,000,000 paper dollars. How much is a bale of hay? $1. The dollar is worthless. It's just a representation of the bale of hay. So I've got my 100 bales of hay, but I've only got one cow. There's no way that my cow can eat all that hay before it goes, rotten. And plus, I got a little tiny apartment. I don't have a place to store 100 bales of hay. Where would I sleep? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell my 100 bales of hay, and I'm going to end up with $100. Isn't that great? So now, $100, I can put that in my pocket. I can carry it, or I can go home, open up the safe, put the money in the safe, take out my trusty rifle, lock the safe, turn on the security alarm, and sit on the couch all night. And I'm wide awake because I've been drinking coffee. I am just one wired so-and-so. And I'm going to protect my $100. Now, overnight, the Federal Reserve decides to print and distribute another 1 million paper dollars. So I wake up, the sun comes up, it's breakfast. Now there are 2 million paper dollars and still 1 million bales of hay. How much is a bale of hay? Bale of hay is worth $2. Bale of hay is worth $2. I go into the safe and I bring out my $100. How many bales of hay can I buy? 50. So without triggering the alarm, without walking past me and my rifle, without even opening up my safe, the government has stolen 50% of my buying power. That is why inflation is evil. Because they're stealing from you and you don't even know it. How did we get into trouble in the first place? Why did we write the Constitution? Because each of the colonies was printing money. They were suffering from inflation. After World War I, Germany had a 5,000% inflation rate. Whatever cost you $1 in January cost you $50 in December. When I was a boy, my mother told me that you would walk around with a shopping bag full of money. Why? Because you're rich? No, because the money is worthless. It cost you $1 million to go and buy the groceries. And you say, oh yeah, but that was back, World War I. That's before my time. Ever go to Mexico? You go down and buy a hamburger and fries in Mexico, it's going to cost you 77,000 pesos. Oh my gosh, and you get your calculator out and you go, oh, that's $8. Why are pesos worthless? Because Mexico has been inflating their money. If you walk around, you see a peso on the ground, you don't even pick it up. It's not worth the time to bend over. Oh, but wait a minute, there's a washer on the ground. I'll pick that up because I may be able to use that. So it can't happen here. Ever since 1913, the Federal Reserve has been printing money, printing money, printing money. Where did it go? How come we're not knee-deep in dollar bills?
Federal Reserve, the IRS has been stealing
Because
it
they're
back.
putting it in on one end and taking it out every April 15th. What does it cost them to put it in? Nothing. They print the money out of thin air. And they put it into circulation. How do you get it? You work your butt off. You work hard. You go, okay, I've got it. And the IRS comes along and say, okay, we're going to take 40%. Thank you very much. The IRS does not pay for roads, hospitals, and national defense. It's a lie. They're just a vacuum cleaner to suck out all the paper so you don't realize that your money isn't any more worthwhile than Mexico's. And they've been doing it since 1913. If I have a bucket and I pick a hose and I start pouring water into the bucket, what's going to happen about 1 or 2 minutes from now?
Overflow.
It's going to overflow. Well, if I punch a hole in the side of the bucket and I'm standing here pumping water in and talking and just holding the hose and filling up the bucket, how long is it going to be before you go, wait a minute, how much are you going to fill up that bucket? How are you doing that? Doesn't it occur to anybody that that bucket should overflow sooner or later? How much money does the Federal Reserve have to pump in? How much money does the IRS have to take out before you go, wait a minute, something's wrong? We have to regain control of our economy. If we don't regain control of our economy, we are sunk. End of story. I'm going to take a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back and talk about deflation.